So today I finished watching Tales of the Jedi, and it's got an 8.7 rating, 98% like this show, and I think it absolutely deserves that. It was a brilliant show. Honestly, I can't really compare it to Andor, but it's in the same leagues for what it did. Like, from the start to the finish, it seemed to know exactly what it was doing, and really just executed it perfectly. So the starting episode was alright, I guess. It was a bit. Yeah, it was significantly longer than the other episodes, and it was a bit basic, plot-wise. It was fairly obvious where it was going from the start, but it was done well. Now, the second episode is where it really picks up in quality big time, because that's the start of the Count Dooku parts, which episodes 2, 3, and 4. Episode 2 is probably my second favourite of the whole show. Really, really good. 3 was decent. I'd say not quite as good, but it was kind of interesting how they did it. I really liked the callbacks. One of my favourite parts is how it actually 2 and 3 are set on Raxus. You can kind of see the evolution of Raxus through the time, and obviously Raxus is the capital of the Separatists in the Clone Wars. And it's, Dooku at the end of the episode, spoiler warning, talks to the Rebel Guard leader guy and says basically, I agree with you and stuff, kind of sowing the seeds for what was to come. I mean, that's basically what Clone Wars does at this point. But yeah, the ending was just really good. And yeah, the very different kind of attitudes between Mace Windu and Count Dooku, and difference between, obviously, Dooku with Qui-Gon and Mace Windu, although one thing that kind of annoys me is how the timeline-wise it makes literally no sense. Mace Windu's like younger than Qui-Gon, let alone Dooku. I don't know how they're supposed to be the same age. But sure, whatever. Yeah, there's the old Tales of the Jedi, which for some reason they called it the same thing. Nostalgia baiting, but sure, whatever. Episode 4 is the best. It's not even close. It's by a lot. Episode 4 was a masterpiece, actual masterpiece. 10 out of 10, 100%. Every score, literal masterpiece. It literally, I love stuff that coincides with stuff like they did with the end of season 7 in the Clone Wars with Revenge of the Sith. Instead, they tied it into the Phantom Menace. They kept all of the continuity right with the whole Count Dooku turns to a bad guy when Qui-Gon dies. They made Yaddle have a character. Like, they took just a random counselor who got, like, one non-canon story in Legends, and, like, not even canon to that, and made a genuine character. Like, the ending was brilliant. I don't even know. But it was actually just amazing. So well done. The parallels with, like, Anakin and stuff, really, really good. Then we go into episode 5, which is probably the weakest of the show. It was alright. It was still a good episode, obviously, just not super brilliant. We get to see Obi-Wan with long hair again, which was interesting, and Anakin with short hair, which doesn't fit into the timeline of the Clone Wars at all, and doesn't make any sense with Obi-Wan in the Clone Wars movie and the first few episodes of that, where he very much has Revenge of the Sith hair, but sure, whatever. I guess they can change up, but I always hated the Clone Wars hair designs. I'm glad they changed them. Like, for some reason they gave Anakin brown hair when, like, his hair clearly isn't dark brown. It's like a blondie, browny colour. And gave Obi-Wan, like, they made him, like, ginger for some reason. Like, huh? At what point in the movie does Obi-Wan have, like, orange hair? I'm so confused. They made some curious changes, character-wise, in the Clone Wars, and overwrote Anakin's entire personality, and made him the opposite of Revenge of the Sith Anakin. Yeah, Clone Wars made some questionable choices with its character changes. Basically, entirely changed the hairstyles and characters of like the main people. They did make Obi-Wan into a master of trolling, which is absolutely not what I would expect him to be. But sure, whatever. So yeah, anyway, the actual episode is just training stuff. Anakin makes a harder test for Ahsoka because Ahsoka easy is the thing. There's a Kanan cameo, which is really cool with Depa Billaba. And they lead it into Clone Wars Season 7, which was really well done. I didn't really like the weird random time jump in the middle where they included a bit halfway through the Clone Wars, but sure, whatever. I'll take it. It was cool. Think about it, it might be potentially the last time we ever get to see Clone Wars era Obi-Wan, Anakin, Ahsoka, Rex. So that's kind of unfortunate, but yeah. Genuinely, it actually could be. You never know when it'll be the last time that that happens, on TV. But yeah. And then episode 6. Episode 6 was really good. The opening was great. I think the middle bit was kind of slouchy. The ending was maybe a bit fast. Like, I would have preferred it more fleshed out. I know they're shorts, but it was a bit daft. But obviously the Inquisitor fight. Spoilers, there's an Inquisitor. You already know that. It's the trailer. It's the sixth brother. Obviously they're continuing to override the Ahsoka book. Which, I mean, they can do that. It's basically been overridden to all hell at this point. But, yeah. It was cool. The fight was good. Good explanation. Tales of the Jedi just seems to be a show that goes around explaining stuff in Star Wars, which I'm not complaining. It's a good show. Watch it. I don't give it a rating. I'm not like some kind of show critic, like a goddamn moist meter. Nah. But if I had to, probably 9 out of 10, honestly. Better than... It's up there with Andor and The Mandalorian for what it is. My only issue is the episodes are just too short to say, wow, that was really amazing. But everything's just condensed so well, and seriously, episode 4 is genuinely a masterpiece. Probably my favourite Star Wars of all time, quite literally. Like, maybe apart from some bits of Revenge of the Sith, maybe some bits of The Mandalorian or Clone Wars, specifically Season 7, maybe Season 5, but other than that, it is the best Star Wars I've ever seen. My new catchphrase is "Well done, Dave," for any time that Dave Filoni does anything marginally good. Well done, Dave. Because he's basically become like this weird messiah figure in Star Wars at this point, which, I mean, it's a bit excessive. Like, the fandom is practically like standing him at this point, but yeah. Basically, like, Star Wars is basically either like sequel fans throwing up emoji or like Dave Filoni simps, but whatever. He's clearly good at what he does, so well done. He takes another dub, and that was Tales of the Jedi.